This is Made for the Cage at Lonsdale in Sunderland, and we're here with Tom Watson, the current world BAMMA champion. We're going to have a few words and discuss a bit about his career and stuff like that, and see where he's going. So, well done, Tom, and thanks for you being here.
Yeah, no problem, guys. So.
How's things going? What's your plans for the future?
Just, you know, obviously I fought not so long ago, so just healing up a few knocks from the fight and doing a bit of weights and start probably training the areas of MMA, you know, in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully get a fight around sort of September time, August, September, and then just work it out.
So you're enjoying your MMA still?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I had a lot of injuries over the last couple of years, you know, a lot of surgeries, and you know, that kind of made me think, do I want to keep doing this? You know, do I want to put my body through this stuff? And I realised the last fight, you know, that just to get back in there again and fight again, you know, that's obviously what I want to do. So
you want to challenge yourself?
Just keep going, you know, yeah.
So you see, back to what we were talking about there, in the future, whereabouts do you see you actually going? There's talk of you maybe crossing the Atlantic and going across there. Is there any truth in them rumours?
I mean, I spoke to, you know, Sean Shelby, obviously, as a matchmaker for Strikeforce before, and spoke to the UFC before, and you know, right now, can't deny that's the top competitions there. But you know, I don't run those organisations, and you know, if they don't want me to fight, then I can't make them sign me. So you know, but I'll just try and fight, you know, the best guys that is on the table for the best money, you know.
I would like to say that you probably saw a household name now in Britain, and one of the biggest fights what gripped the nation was obviously with Alex Reid. That was a watershed moment, I would say. It got a lot of fans from outside of MMA looking in.
Yeah. And
obviously, me myself, I want the sport to grow and keep going forward. And it was actually a good fight. It was exciting, and I enjoyed it. When you're talking about, we were talking about how important, I think yesterday when we were speaking, how important the wrestling and clinch work is in MMA now. How important do you think that is?
Well, I just think it's the main thing. I think for a while most of the people have known that wrestlers have done well in the sport, just because, you know, it's striking and the groundwork is generally, I would argue, how the fights are finished. But without the wrestling, you know, you can't get it in that area. You know, you'd be the best stand-up fighter in the world, but if you've got no wrestling, you're just going to be on the floor the whole time. And vice versa. You know, you could be a world-class jiu-jitsu guy, real good on the ground, but if you haven't got the wrestling to dominate and get it there, well, it doesn't count for nothing. So
do you think it's important also to be able to stifle the takedowns? That's what I see. Yeah,
that's a style. You know, if you're a striker and you can't stop, you know, the takedowns. I mean, you know, there's a lot of guys out there that you know are great fighters, but they still, you know, have a lot of problems with being on the ground. You know.
Obviously, I like jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is actually one of my background there. But like we said, if you can stifle the takedown, then obviously you're stopping the fight going there. So obviously that's an advantage. You obviously train on that, and it's very important that you train the clinch work and the sprawls. But you do put a gi on, don't you? You're a purple belt. In jiu-jitsu. You still put it on now and again.
Yeah, and I mean I got that quite a while ago, you know. I think probably got that purple belt about 3 years ago. So I haven't done it as much as I like, but you know, I'll focus on it. Probably hopefully get the chance over the next month or so to do a lot more, and you know, that's just the thing for me. When you have a fight confirmed and coming up, the training changes. You know, you do everything. So for me now is a good time. You know, I can do a lot more of that kind of stuff. You know, so.
I would like to ask you a question about Jimmy Wallhead. Obviously I done the interview with Jim when we were at the last Made for the Cage. Can we put a line in the sand here of what actually happened, or have you got anything to say on the matter?
I mean, it's, you know, from my opinion, is great fighter. Arguably, I think probably not as well known in England as he should be. Great fighter, you know. It'd be an honour for me to fight him, but this whole think I don't want to fight him or duck him, you know. I mean, it's not even worth me going on about, to be honest. I mean, if anybody can look at my career and you know, I fought a UFC guy in my second fight, you know, Matsui, in my third fight after 3 days notice, I think, for that fight. You know, I fought Professor X, I think, in my 5th fight. He was ranked in the top 5 in Europe then. Mark Epstein, I think, in my second fight, still had like nearly 20 cage rage fights, you know. So I just don't really get it, but if that's what you want to do to try and sell a fight and promote the interest, I understand it. Thought I got on pretty well with him, but you know, maybe now, so the way things have come out, I don't necessarily like when people talk like that. So you know, do whatever you got to do. That's not really my thing.
Your MMA did conduct a poll, and when the conduct of the poll, it was a fight what all the fans did want to see, though, when they did vote. But
yeah, understandably, because I think, you know, it would be a good fight, you know. So I can understand why the fans want to see it, and maybe they will see it. You know, who knows?
Well, that's a made-for-the-cage exclusive right there. Well, is there anything else you would like to say, Tom?
No, just, you know, obviously, like I touched on earlier, I had a lot of, you know, my back injury and a lot of problems, and when you're not fighting for so long, I mean, in the last 2 years, I think I've had 2 fights, so just a lot of people still supported me and still, you know, made me want to get back in there and fight again. So, well,
like I say, we enjoy what you're doing. You're driving the MMA scene forward. We do hope that you realise your ambitions, whatever them are. We hope to see you on the biggest screen out there, and obviously hope to see you to be continue to be a world champion.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom Watson.
All right,
thanks for your time.
Nice talking to you.
Thanks a lot.